But this video isn't for the judgmental people who think they make perfect decisions every day. This is for you, the one who survived what might have been narcissistic abuse. Even if your abuser was never officially diagnosed, it doesn't matter. If it felt toxic to you, that toxicity was real. Diagnosis or not, you knew something was wrong. And let's be honest, most narcissists don't seek professional help anyway, because they never take accountability. You weren't tolerating abuse that wasn't tolerance. That was your training. You were trained to handle conflict and disrespect that way. Maybe you grew up in a household with one person everyone was afraid of. The unspoken rule: don't trigger them, because when they got angry, it was terrifying. They would throw things, they threatened others, and they would even threaten to hurt themselves. And when you started to develop your own sense of right and wrong, you naturally wanted to call it out. But someone always stopped you. They would say things like, "Be the bigger person, just apologize so it wouldn't get worse. Don't say anything, just let it go." So, even though you knew the truth, you were silenced. You were taught that speaking up would only make things worse. And that's how your nervous system was trained. That's how you learned that in order to keep the peace, you had to fake peace. And you carried that exact training into your adult relationships. For years, this was your survival manual. You could have earned a master's degree in faking peace because that's what kept you safe. You weren't taught to set boundaries. You weren't taught to reject disrespect. You were taught to adjust to it. So, to the people who say you deserve what you tolerate, you don't know the full story. You're judging from the outside without understanding how trauma conditions the mind. This is not just behavior, this is conditioning. Research shows that early exposure to invalidation and emotional unpredictability alters how we process conflict and attachment in adulthood. This phenomenon is known as trauma reenactment, where the survivors unknowingly repeat relationship dynamics that feel familiar, even if they're harmful. So, when someone tells you, "just leave," you're shocked and dumbfounded, because no one taught you that leaving was an option. That was never part of your training. Years of conditioning cannot be undone with a single phrase. It's a process. It's a slow, painful, but necessary process of unlearning. But here's the good news. Now that you know that this wasn't your fault, now that you know this was survival, not stupidity, now that you understand where it all came from, you can begin to break the cycle. You don't need to forgive yourself. You didn't do anything wrong. You simply loved the way you knew how, using the tools you were given.